Have you ever wondered how the Israelites conquered the land of Canaan? Well, today we're going to find out as we continue our series, The Conquest of Canaan. After many plagues and the 10th plague, which was the death of the firstborn sons, Pharaoh finally let the Israelites go. The first group were the Canaanites, who worshipped a god named Moloch, and the second group were the Amorites, who worshipped a god named Rimmon. Also, don't forget to share this video with someone who needs to hear this message. Thanks for watching. In fact, the Bible says that the Amorite king, whose name was Kedorlaomer, was so wicked that he even made his son king before him while he was still alive. So imagine how evil this guy must have been. And when Joshua and the Israelites arrived in Canaan, they went straight to war with the kings and their armies. The first battle that they fought was against a coalition of 5 kings at the city of Merjabon. And the Lord gave Joshua and Israel the victory. And afterwards, the Israelites chased the fleeing kings all the way to the mountains of Israel. But when they got there, they heard something very surprising. The king said, "The Lord is a very great God. We are completely defeated and we are no match for you." Then they surrendered their lives into the hands of Joshua, who executed all of them. But after conquering Megiddo, Joshua and the Israelites moved on to the city of Jericho, which was ruled by a king named Hahor, a Canaanite. And the Bible says that the walls of Jericho were very high and strong. So the Israelites couldn't just walk in and take over. They needed a plan. So God told Joshua to have the Israelites march around the city in silence for 6 days. On the 7th day, they would march around the city 7 times. And then they would shout and blow trumpets, and the walls would come tumbling down. And that's exactly what happened. The Israelites entered the city and destroyed it, taking everything they wanted as spoils of war. However, Rahab, who was a prostitute, believed in the God of Israel and hid 2 spies that were sent to her house. When Joshua and the Israelites came to conquer Jericho, Rahab was spared along with her family, and she became an ancestor of Jesus Christ. As time passed, the Israelites continued to fight many battles, and when all was said and done, God gave them the land of Canaan as a reward for their obedience and faithfulness. But after they left, Pharaoh had a change of heart and sent his army after them. And in the end, the Israelites were defeated and had to flee on foot through the wilderness. Thankfully, God parted the Red Sea so that the Israelites could escape on dry land. And when Pharaoh's army followed them, God made the waters come crashing down again, killing every single Egyptian soldier. After wandering in the desert for 40 years, the Israelites were ready to conquer the land of Canaan. At the head of this massive army was a man named Joshua, who was chosen by God to lead his people into battle. Joshua was a great leader, and with God on their side, the Israelites were able to defeat many different nations, including the Hittites, the Girgashites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusite. All of these nations are mentioned in Deuteronomy 7 as being inhabitants of the land the Israelites were about to possess. But one of the most famous battles that took place during the conquest of Canaan was the Battle of Jericho. Don't forget to check out the first part if you haven't already. Also, be sure to stay tuned for even more stories from the Bible. The Israelites were slaves in Egypt for over 400 years until God raised up a deliverer named Moses. Now, before I explain what happened at Jericho, it's important to note that there were 2 major groups of people living in Canaan. Now, do you think that it was fair for the Israelites to kill everyone in the cities they conquered? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.